What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? How is everyone doing today? I'm still pretty immobilized. I thought doing some pure strategy today would be a good way for me to get a little Dungeon Defenders Awakened in without completely ruining my thumb that is like in a half cast. Elemental Pink? Theoden? What's going on? Anyway, y'all, this week's news, I'm not going to put together a video on it because the news was not what's the word? Confirmative? Is that a word? The news this week for Dungeon Defenders Awakened is the final testing, the final remote playtesting group or cavalry test for update 1.2 starts today. It runs over this weekend, and they didn't tell us when update 1.2 would be here. Now, I would assume that if the update is in its final testing today, that they would want a week to get anything fine-tuned that they need fine-tuned. But Nat did say he was talking about it, and he started to say something and stopped midway, but he said keep an eye out next week, and then didn't say, and then cut it off. Yeah, I'll be doing spotlights on everything Elemental Pink, no doubt about it. Anyway, but one of the things that is coming in update 1.2 that we know of is the pure strategy trophy will be fixed. That's this right here. So up until this point, there's been no real reason to do pure strategy, unless you just like it, of course. But yeah, this trophy is going to be fixed, and I haven't done the pure strategy maps yet, so this trophy is get to at least wave 10 on every pure strategy map on medium or higher difficulty. So we are just going to go through and knock off a few check marks. In fact, I might do this all weekend just to get it all knocked out. What's going on there, Cool Sky? How you doing? Feel free, the loot will be trash, but feel free to join me if anybody wants in. And it looks like we left off, I think the last time I streamed it, we were in lava mines, and my connection died. Let me see. Well, let me do... Or no? Was it ancient mines? I'm not sure, but clearly we need lava mines still. No check mark. And it looks like we're going to have to start right off at the beginning, so... I guess let's just hop in and do it. That's quite unfortunate. We got to start at wave 1, but you got to do what you got to do. Dungeon Defenders 2 hasn't received an update in quite some time there, Cool Sky. There is no updates for DD2 planned. It actually hasn't gotten a game update in over a year now, a game update of any sort. And it hasn't gotten, like, a game-changing update in, 2 years? 2 years now, yeah. The Drakenfrost Keep update was the last real update we had for DD2. So yeah, DD2 is, it's a finished product. I mean, there's a chance, the slim chance, that they might add something in later, but I wouldn't hold my breath. That's for damn sure. Let's see. What did I put over there? Did I put an exploit? Or no, I put an Inferno over there by mistake. Let's go with an explosive here, because we're going to have to get through the first waves, of course. Well, that was them talking out of their buttocks, I believe, there, Michael. The very next week on Augie's stream, after he made that statement, the very next week he said, oh, that was just an idea we were thinking about. There's no current plans for it. So, I mean, if it happens, that will be glorious, but it's not realistic to think it's going to happen, you know? We're going to have flyers here too, aren't we? We want this all the way up in here. I mean, we got to get some mana, right? Well, we can go one. Actually, this isn't even going to be open yet, is it? No, this won't even be open for the first wave, so I think we're good here. Oh, I agree 1,000% there, Michael. I mean, it comes back around to those hard truths. Every single stream, this is what the stream turns into. So I apologize, y'all. But it comes around to the hard truths. DD2 as a business was a failed business model. They're not going to go back to it. I mean, I hate that, even saying that, but that is reality. You know, if they go back to it, it's going to be a seriously remote chance, and keep your expectations low. Because, I mean, no one there even knows how to use the old outdated game engine anymore. They would have to teach someone how to use the outdated game engine and go through all the old spaghetti code. I mean, it's not like just plug somebody in and say go, and we got content, you know? I mean, it's just one of those hard, sad truths. The time comes in every game, sadly. Anyway, this is a public match if anyone is just bored to tears. I think that is the only reason you would want to do pure strategy. But if you do want to do pure strategy, feel free to join me. I wish you could use your abilities, at least during the build phase, to get around the map faster. Let's see. I'm not sure if we're going to have flyers or whatever up here in pure strat. I'm assuming we would, right? We will find out, that's for sure. I mean, a lot of newer players that come to the game, you know, don't get discouraged by the fact that it's not getting updates anymore. It doesn't make it any less of a game. It's a game that's absolutely a gem that has a crap ton of bugs. So it's got lots of bugs, it's got lots of exploity stuff, but the game itself is still a good game. I mean, it's fun to play, you know? It's gonna give you, it's a free-to-play game that's gonna give you 1,000 hours of gameplay. You know, you could easily put 1,000 hours into Dungeon Defenders 2. So don't be discouraged if you're new to the game or just joining the game. You know, there's plenty to do. What's going on there, Kragan? How you doing? Oh, I hear you there, Nico. That's the trap with free-to-play games, sadly. That's why I personally cannot stand... Let me just jump in the lava here. I personally cannot stand microtransactions in games. I absolutely hate it. I would much rather pay for the game up front and be done with it, and when new content comes out, have to pay for DLC. I absolutely hate getting nickeled and dimed. I despise it. So, I mean, DD2 is the first free-to-play game that I really got into heavily. And man, I spent a fortune. I mean, I probably spent $1,000 on DD2 just in giveaways, not including anything else. You know? Now that's over the course of many, many years, of course. Let's see. I think we might as well just spawn camp this lane. Keep that Aura stack outside there just for the flyers. I think this will probably be good. I just can't see needing anything else. I mean, I could throw some DSTs or something back here. Well, I can only throw one. I don't even think there's any point in that. Just let it fly. I wish pure strategy was more challenging and more rewarding. What's going on there, Michael? How you doing? You know, I guess I put a decent amount of hours into Path of Exile and Warframe as well. But Warframe has like a ridiculously good free-to-play business model. I mean, you could play Warframe, and as long as you're willing to grind, never pay a penny for anything. You know? But Warframe, I think, is the exception to most rules in the free-to-play world. Well, that's the thing about Warframe. You can take a break for a year, come back, there will be some new frames, some new content, and you won't miss a beat. You'll be able to jump right back in there. Yeah, I saw Immortals Phoenix was out. I debated on playing it. They sent me a review code for it, but it's on Stadia. Well, the review code they sent me was for Stadia. Warframe, that's the downside about their business model. Now, like I said, I think Warframe has the fairest free-to-play business model for players more than any other game. I really think it is the absolute best. But the downside to it is their development efforts just literally have to go into making new frames. So, you know, it doesn't have as much content, but you get a new frame like every... What? I mean, just a ridiculous amount of new frames. I'm going to have to throw explosive trap here for these spiders, though. You played Phoenix about 6 hours so far? Nice, Thaden. I tell you what I got drawn into last night, and it's awesome. Creeper World 4. Creeper World 4 is a really, really good game. It's going to be Tower Defense Tuesday this upcoming week. There is zero doubts about that. I haven't tried Tinkertown yet. I debated on streaming it today, but I wanted to be able to stream something that required little to no mouse work. Yeah, Creeper World 4 launched yesterday. It's a really, really good game. It's been amazingly addicting last night. I planned on popping in and like looking at the first map or two, and ended up doing like the first 8. And there's mod support. There's actually already a ton of player-created maps out there. It's got like full Steam Workshop support. It's on Steam and on GOG. It's on everything for PC. I don't think it's on anything for consoles yet. But yeah, it's a really, really good game. If you like tower defense and you like deep strategy, there is no doubt. We don't have a confirmation yet there, Ludo, but it can be as early as next week. What's going on there, Stu? How you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop a couple traps here to keep these spiders dead. Waiting for them to time out is not gonna be any fun. Yeah, anyway, my thumb is still not... I mean, I gave it a few days of rest. I played nothing pretty much but Idle Champions the last 3 days. That game is actually addicting as hell for an idle game. But when you're playing it on the side and you got something else going, it's a lot more entertaining than when you have nothing else going and you're sitting there staring at it. You know. Idle games are idle games. But it has been quite enjoyable. They got an event going this week. One more. Come on, Spider, die already. Just waiting for this one spider to time out. Let's deal with that right now. There we go. Any spiders that come anywhere near are going to get exploded. Exploded right in the face. But yeah, it could be here. I think it depends on how the test goes. You know, they got that play test going this weekend. So, I mean, if things go smooth in the play test and everything's working as intended, I think the update could be here as early as next week. If, you know, if the play testers run into a crap load of game-breaking crap, you know, a bunch of bugs or whatever, then it'll probably be the week after. What do we got there? We got Ludo and we got Rico. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. This is going to be one hell of a boring grind getting through these pure strategy maps, though, over the next, you know, over the course of the next week or whatever. What's going on there, Aiden? How you doing? How's the redo coming along? Some bugs or features? That has been very true about every Dungeon Defenders game up until now. That is for sure there, Dizzy. That has been very, very true. So what are you all playing this weekend? And who's excited for Cyberpunk? You know what? The biggest fail ever would be if they launched the damn update 1.2 on Cyberpunk launch day. Don't do it, Chromies. Launch it sooner. Or later. But don't do it on the same day. Nah, no new heroes will come until later down the line, Nico. The base game is not done yet. So they're working on getting the base game dialed in first. I'm surprised they put the EV out there, to be honest. More bugs than features. You want to get Cyberpunk, but afraid it won't run well? That's fair. I tried to get a 30, you know, my next biggest upgrade I need is a graphics card. I tried to get a 3060 Ti a few days ago. I actually stayed up all night trying to get one. Oh, well, your game, that's gonna run it, no problem. There, Nico. You're not gonna have any issues running it with that rig. Yeah, that's way more than enough. The minimum requirements are going to be like an i3 and 1060 or something like that. I mean, the minimum requirements are going to be way, way lower than what you've got. Oh, the Eevee is my favorite character. Yeah, anyway, I tried to get a 3060 Ti locked up this week, and I actually had one in my cart at Best Buy at 7 in the morning the other day, but I would have to drive to Portland to pick it up on Cyberpunk launch day, which there's just no way I was going to do that. What's going on there, Murdion? How you doing? Oh, and for those that are not aware, there's a DDA and DD2 cosmetic and pet giveaway going that ends tomorrow night. I'm using an old bucket right now. Nielsen, I did have a 1070 and it burned out. And I'm using an RX 580 right now. So, I mean, that would have been a big upgrade for me. That's right, Dizzy. You tell him. So anyway, I think the bot command should be working. Exclamation giveaways in chat. We'll get you a link to the video or the giveaway that's going to end tomorrow. Tomorrow night at midnight. Let's see, is the bot friendly today? Looks like the... Oh, there it is, there it is. Okay, the bot is working. Way to go, bot. Yeah, sorry y'all, somebody in game. I know it's covered up by the overlay. I got a half cast on my right hand, y'all. I can't be playing. I know that, like, the person that joined wants me to go to Massacre. Well, first off, there is no Massacre for pure strategy. But I can't... I mean, I'm barely keeping a hold of my mouse to move it around right now. I got like a half cast and a thumb brace going on. It's extremely awkward. I don't remember the long medical term, but basically I messed up the tendon in my finger, in my thumb. There is no gold sodium champ. Gold table flipper was from the carnival event. The only way to get that is to buy it from another player. The shadow skins were a bonus to people that had bought the game at full price at $39.99 prior to them lowering the price to $29.99. So basically, a large portion of the player base paid $10 more than what the game sells for. So they gave them the shadow skins to make up for it. I took a few days off, Nika. There was a little lull in the coverage, but I'm trying. I mean, I don't know what... To be honest with you, I don't know what to record. I can't... I mean, right now, I'm just not capable of playing a game that requires, like, proper aim or any sort of proper mouse movement. Which kind of sucks, but... I tried playing that Telltale Batman, and they got a big... They got a issue going on with screen resolutions with it, where the mouse won't work. And I mean, it's hard enough for me to navigate the mouse around as it is right now. With the mouse not working at all, it's just a big problem. So it's all about either turn-based games Dizzy bought me a little Christmas present the other day. There's a really nice turn-based strategy game coming out. It doesn't really give much freshness to the genre, Meridian, but it's a different game that you no doubt will put hundreds of hours into it as well. It brings new things to the franchise, but nothing really new to the genre. Like, there's a massacre difficulty in it now, which is above Nightmare. It's very, very difficult to break into. You know, as with all Dungeon Defenders games, the more gear you get, the easier it becomes. But when you're first breaking into, it's very difficult. Y'all, I see you typing, but I don't pay attention to in-game chat while I'm streaming. So I apologize. Let's see, what was your question? When's the update? Well, we don't know. It could be here as early as next week, but that's not confirmed. They made it too... See, I think that where I think wrong with DDA is people wanted a game like DD1. Overall, in the... as far as all of the millions of Dungeon Defenders franchise fans from over the years, they like DD1 more than DD2. That's just fact. So I know DD2 people will get pissed off at that statement, but the truth is the truth. And the problem is they wanted to make a game more like DD1, and they basically took way, way too much from DD1. Instead of making a game like DD1, they made a game that feels like it's a remaster of DD1, even though it's not a remaster of DD1. You know what I'm saying? And I think if they would have came into the game with a fresh set of maps, you know, I mean, by all means, you got to keep the same heroes for the story. So, like, the original 4 heroes would always be the same, just to follow the lore, right? But they didn't need to give us so many repeat maps. They really didn't. I mean, this one's a new one, of course, but that's the reason, in my opinion, I think that's the reason so many people just think it's just a bad remake, you know? Is because they put so many of the same maps in. Well, I think we'll get something. I mean, we know that Foundries and Forges is coming, right? It's in the launch trailer. They didn't build that map just for the launch trailer. There's no way. I mean, that just wouldn't be a very smart use of resources, right? So we know Foundries and Forges is coming. That's another map from DD1. I mean, what else is going to come from DD1? You know? I mean, there's fan favorites. Like, I personally really hope Aquanos comes. You know, Aquanos would be awesome. But on the same note, I mean, I want new stuff. Well, I mean, Aquanos is my favorite. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but it's my favorite for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the maps. A lot of people don't realize that. 25% of the maps for DD2 were DD1 maps that were remade. They said that 50% of the maps in DDA were going to be returning maps that are just remade, but it ended up being more than 50%. Which I take that, I look at that in the other aspect of it. And the other aspect of it is it's not 50% new, and that's what they said. It was going to be 50% new maps, you know. Well, I mean, they're not going to straight copy the DLC from DD1. It's a different game. So none of the DLC is going to be the same. I mean, the maps from the DLC have a really good chance of making it. I mean, all of those Eternia Shards maps were extremely popular, you know? Those were all very... Fans loved them. But they're not... It's not going to be the same... It's not the same game. It's not a remake of that game. So it's not going to be this map, this map. You know, it's not going to be just like DD1 was, you know? But, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that those maps... I'll be shocked if Misty Mire doesn't get in. And, to be honest with you, I'll be appalled if Aquanos doesn't get in. You just want Tower Wars? We'll have to see. I mean, anything's possible. I think another thing too is the mod support. I mean, you see what people do with the mods in DD1. I mean, yeah, there's all the Hackerman stuff out there, but there's also really good stuff. Look at what IHDC has done with the redo mod for DD1. A legacy DLC? I mean, I don't think they're going to copy any of the DLC from DD1, to be honest. But I do think that a lot of those maps have a really good chance. I don't see how they could fit it into the story, but I'd even love to see Moonbase. Moonbase was pretty awesome, and it's a map that in DD1 was just filled with Easter eggs, so it would be an opportunity for DD2, or for DDA as well, you know? But yeah, user maps are crazy. I think the old maps that come back won't be skinned as drastically as DD2, to be honest, Redline. I think they'll be way more similar. One of the reasons is there's a big difference in budget between DD2 and DDA. They had big hopes for DD2. Tavern Defense was awesome. I really enjoyed Tavern Defense too. I spent a lot of time on that map. Before, you know, before some of the newer CDT stuff came out, I used to use Tower Defense to level characters. Tavern Defense was just good stuff. I just do not remember this song from this playlist at all. I can't remember ever putting this song into the playlist. Very strange. But, I mean, I'm anxious to see what happens. I wish they would let me, I mean, it's not realistic for them to let me. But, like, you know, Diablo 3, you could stream the PTR. A lot of bigger games, the public testing, you're allowed to stream. But there's a big non-disclosure agreement on the Cavalry playtests, you know? But if they would let me live stream the Cavalry playtest, I would jump right on that. Bum thumb or not. The Cowbull DLC? That'll be much later, Redline. That's heavy-duty endgame there. Once the Cowbolds come to town, that's when you've hit the big time. Well, I mean, the Copter Roller would be part of that DLC for sure, Dizzy, no doubt. The Rollercopter. That's one of the problems with pure strategy. It just takes so long to run. In fact, I'm tempted I'm just super tempted to throw something in to kill these flyers because they're taking forever to get here. I think I might just throw in a DST pointed down that way if I can get one placed and pointed. I tried to stick with traps and auras because my kind of a difficult to aim towers right now with the old busted limb. What do you think, Redline? Is farming simulator very mouse intensive? A couple of magic missiles, yeah, that would work too. You only use the mouse to pan view? That might be an idea then. Let's see. Let's just throw one Splody here to cover all the spooters. And then we'll grab a... Oof. See if this view works better. I think it will. Yeah, that camera angle works way better for busted limb time anyway. Yeah, go slower and read the lanes. Read what's coming and counter the enemies. Can say the same thing about the entire game. Really, Gritspire. DD2 is 100% a game about countering enemies. Your loot isn't important. Your mods isn't important. What is important is you have the right shards and you counter the enemies with the correct defense. That's like just the base of the game overall. So go slow, look at what's coming out of each lane, read the mutators, and use the right defense. You know, if the mutator says it takes reduced damage from magic damage and increased damage from physical damage, then use physical damage. You know, it tells you what to do. But the difference between expeditions and Onslaught is every lane is basically its own map. So look at every lane and build each lane to meet the challenge that's coming on that particular lane, you know? Where in Expeditions, you can just do the same thing on every lane. I mean, you could do the same thing in Onslaught once you get all decked out, but that's like heavy-duty endgame stuff. Like in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of floors, you can get to a point where you basically do just about the same thing. Even then, you're still going to have some variances. You'll change it up a little bit. That should shave like a minute off of each wave, having those flyers spawn camped like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what to play this weekend though. I mean, I know what I want to play. I think I'm gonna play that turn-based game, Dizzy. Gonna get a bunch of time in on that. Creeper World 4 is not too terrible on the hands either. The problem Creeper World 4 has is there's not as many hotkeys. Now I'll have to look through and see what I can set up. If I can set more stuff to keyboard actions, then I'll be able to play it, you know? The left hand still works great. It's the right hand is busted. I could have done something right here too to speed the time up here, because these enemies don't need to walk all the way up here to die. We don't know. It's supposed to drop for Xbox early in 2021. Demon Child. I'd imagine PlayStation won't be too far behind. But no confirmations yet. The Switch exclusivity thing is gone. So there's no longer a Switch exclusivity period. And we know that they're working on Xbox first. I guess Xbox is easier to get a game through certification and launched on than PlayStation is. I mean, I don't know the inner workings of all that, but yeah, apparently you can get the game on Xbox much easier. Kind of surprised. I mean, PlayStation still... There's still more PlayStation players in the world than there are Xbox players, right? Isn't PlayStation ahead in that little console war? That, I mean, a lot of people, well, I mean, if you have the means to, I know a ton of people that have a PlayStation and an Xbox. Xbox is basically a PC with some small differences. That's fair. Well, I don't mean the getting the game ready for it. I mean going through the certification process. Like going through the certification process on Xbox, I guess, is just way easier than Sony for a first-time game launch. I mean, like I said, I don't really know the inner workings of that. I've never... If I ever launch a game, it'll be on mobile. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so there's no way I could ever get a game on PC. Well, yes and no. I mean, like I said, I don't know the inner workings. You'd have to talk to Nat or somebody at Chromatic that knows all that stuff. Ice. I would assume Ice and Nat would be the two guys that know most of the things in that regard. But they did say that they were working their ass off on the Switch and making little to no progress. And they popped open the Xbox dev kit just to take a look at it, and like the game was amazing, running great right out of the box. So, all right, Redline, take it easy. Enjoy your dinner. So, I mean, I think that's just kind of a natural, you know. An Xbox, even an Xbox One and a PS4 are just technologically so far ahead compared to, you know, just as far as the hardware goes, compared to a Switch. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. I'm gonna play it on all platforms though. It's one real luxury DDA has that DD2 never had with the cross saves. That's just good stuff. Good stuff for sure. Let me see something here real quick. All right. Wow, we're only on wave 11. It sucks starting from wave 1, man. It sucks. I mean, I don't have to go all the way to the end. You only have to pass wave 10. So, like, by that standard, this would be close enough for this map to get the achievement. But on the same note, I kind of want to get the check mark too. That way it's out of the way, you know? I keep trying to shoot these little gobus and yeah, it just ain't working out. No shooting of the gobus. I wouldn't worry about it, Dizzy. It's done now. Already in, just a matter of waiting for it. You can give me that wave 23 start on all the other maps, though. I ain't complaining about that at all. Well, I mean, hopefully the newer systems are in stores before then, Demon Child. We know it's not coming this year. I mean, I would like to think that there's more Xbox Series X's or PlayStation 5s. I mean, I'd like to think there's more hitting sometime soon, right? I mean, I know a ton of people that scored one, but I am not on that list. I am definitely not on that list. I managed to get a 3060 Ti in my cart at Best Buy. That was about the closest I came to getting any of this new stuff here lately. Well, I know people that have gone and gotten them from stores already now, Demon Child. It depends on where you live, and the demand is a big part of it. People say that one of the easiest ways to get one right now is to go to small towns that have Walmarts and Best Buys. Fisk had his Series X right away. I know several people that had a PS5 right away. They all say Dungeon Defenders 2 runs the same, which is quite unfortunate. It just tells you that it's the coding with Dungeon Defenders and not the hardware, you know. Dungeon Defenders 2. Running like poo on the Xbox, on the Series X and the PS5. But on that same note, I do think that February or March is probably a pretty realistic time. I'm just being optimistic and hoping that there's more Series X's and PS5s out there for people earlier. You got a PS5 on the second day in the UK. Very nice. I mean, I live in a small town. If I walked into the Walmart here and they had a Series X sitting there, I mean, I would bust my credit card out instantly and buy it. But this town is big enough that I can't imagine it will run bad. I mean, it already runs like 100 times better than DD2 does. So, I mean, I can't imagine it's going to run bad. I would think it's going to run pretty well. I mean, we'll have to see, you know. That part of it, we're just going to have to wait and see. That's what I mean. I mean, it runs better than DD2 on PC right now. So, I mean, I would assume it's going to run better than DD2 on consoles as well. You know, it's an updated engine, but one of the big things there is not only is it an updated engine, but it's a more current version of the current engine, you know? Where DD2 was not only made on an older game engine, it's made on an outdated version of that older game engine, where the game can't be updated for the newer version of Unreal 3. Or it probably could, but it would cost a fortune, you know? Oh wow, Bakersfield. You'd think Bakersfield would have been sold out, because that's a pretty decent sized city, right? What's in Bakersfield? That Jan's Mall. Isn't that Bakersfield? Jan's Mall? That mall with the big planters? Like, ridiculous sized planters with flowers and stuff in them. I mean, it's been a long time since I was there. I'm sure the mall is still there, but the planters might be long gone. You got Alchemical Labs, Prom, and Magus. Nice, nice. Oh, I wouldn't complain there, Dizzy. I wouldn't complain. They had a lot of them. Your timing must have been just impeccable. There, Eye Ripper is the thing. Timing is everything, right? Yeah, I would absolutely love to see those here. You stopped a few shy of 10, waiting for the Chivo to work. It should go back. I mean, I got the other achievements, the other achievements that were broken and then were fixed ended up just popping for me without me having to go back and redo them. I mean, I'm hoping that's the same anyway. It would really suck to do all these maps and then have to do them again. But that's one of the reasons I'm pushing for the check marks, is the check mark is like a profile thing, you know? And I think then, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. Dragon Gun, thank you so much for subscribing. I do appreciate it a ton. They should add raid bosses to DDA. Well, I mean, the problem is getting the multiplayer smooth enough where you'd be able to have multiple people joining a map. DD1 had maps, huge maps with, 8 players? Royal Warriors with the sub. Thank you so much as well. I mean, that would be awesome. You would get no complaints out of me. I mean, the more they add to the game, the better, right? The thing I want, though, is I don't want them to forget that it's a tower defense game. I want them to remember that it's a tower defense game first. And, like, the importance of developing your towers. Let me go ahead and jump in the lava again. A Corgi boss? Man, that would be terrifying there, Aramir. Terrifying. Awesome, Royal Warriors. Well, there will be a lot more coming. I've been holding off on my next playthrough. I want to wait until Rift mode comes. DDA 100%, zero questions, no doubts at all. We'll have many, many more characters. You guys got to realize this is not even the base game yet. They're still getting the base game dialed in. So, I mean, there will be years of development that goes into DDA after the base game is completely finished. So there is zero doubt there will be mini maps, There will be mini heroes. All that stuff will be here. I would have to agree with you on the characters there, Tappy. I think that they went the wrong direction with the characters. I think the maps look wonderful. I mean, there is like nothing wrong with this map. You know, it's beautiful. But the character models themselves, I feel like they went the wrong way with. I agree 100%. I think they would have been better off just ripping the character models out of DD2 and using them. Well, I mean, the amount of detail and the lighting and everything is just way, way better in any other character game, or in any other Dungeon Defenders game. But the characters just look meh. Well, I mean, it's still fixing or working towards the base game. Cybotics. You know, if any game comes out and you grind it 20 hours a day, you're going to be done with it really, really fast. That's just the nature of gaming. I mean, how fast is it going to take somebody to beat Cyberpunk this next week? You know? I don't have a problem with cartoony. I mean, DD2 is cartoony. They're all cartoony. I have no problem with cartoony. I just personally think that the character models and animations look better in DD2 than they do in DDA. I mean, people think otherwise, you know, and that's fine. We're all entitled to our opinion. But I just feel like that the character models and animations in DD2 had a whole lot of money dumped into them, right? They had a big, big staff. They had a lot of artists. I mean, why not take advantage of that? Because it's already, they own the assets. That's where I personally feel like they could have done better. The Destiny UI, I think that's more an Unreal 4 thing than anything, Dizzy. Oh, I don't get any frame drops at all. The game runs at 144 frames a second for me, personally. And I'm not using any super high-end system. I've got a decent gaming setup. You know, but it's not like, oh my god, that's so good. You know, I'm using i7. It's newer, but it's not brand new, shiny new. And I'm using a RX 580, which is straight old. You know. Turn the shadows down, Royal. There's a known bug with the shadows, but I mean, there's no reason you should have drops like that. I mean, I literally will rarely ever drop below 100 frames per second, ever, while I'm playing. And like, if I'm just sitting in Tavern, it just sits, in not moving around at all, it just sits there at 144 the whole time, never budges. So, I mean, you might need to go through and tweak your settings a little bit. There's an issue with shadows processing on higher-end systems right now. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you then, man, because with not near that GPU, I'd never ever drop in frames like that. Well, I mean, all good things come to an end there, Tappy. It's still got plenty of game there to play, you know? Yeah, that's going to be something, some specific problem to your drivers or whatever then. Because that's like, I mean, like I said, the game runs fantastic for me on not as much of a system as what you have. So there's some kind of conflict with drivers on that 2080 or something. Oh, the servers won't go anywhere for DD2. It doesn't cost very much to keep servers turned on. They won't go anywhere. I mean, it'll be many years before DD2 servers go away, if ever. I mean, I could see DD2 servers still being on in 10 years. You know, it might be cut down to one server then, and not have the 3 different ones, but the DD2 servers certainly won't go anywhere. It's probably just a conflict with, it's a conflict with the 2080. Is really the only answer for that. Well, that's the thing, Royals. It may not even, your drivers may be fully updated. It's a performance issue that Chromatic is going to have to get figured out, you know? They've already dropped that plan, Demon. In fact, the very next week, on Augie's very next live stream, he said, "Oh, that was just a thought that I was thinking of. There's no actual solid plans or anything for it." So yeah, that's just not, it's just not realistic, you know? I mean, I could see them, like, years from now, assuming people are still playing DD2 in years. I could see in years from now, once DDA is completely done, it's got all the DLC or whatever, rather than laying people off before they start making whatever their new project is, putting, like, one person onto, like, a DD2 events team or something like that. I think that might be realistic, but that's not any time in the near future. Well, it was not a winning proposition for him, though, Demon, is the thing. I mean, if you owned a business and that business was not making any money, would you keep that business open? Would you keep going to work every day? That's the thing you gotta realize. It is a business, you know? I mean, we're lucky to have what we have. And a lot of people don't realize that either. I mean, the development team, prior to Augie coming in and buying it, the development team was scheduled to be shut down. They were going to move all the developers up to a different developer in Orlando, and Dungeon Defenders was going to get shelved. And then Augie came in, bought the company, and saved the day. So, I mean, anyone who is playing DD2 right now has DDA to thank for it. Yeah, Mythical Gear and Nightmare, Godly and Massacre. And Trans, yeah, the Trans gear. You can get nice stuff. I mean, like, a lot of people assume that it's better to go into Deeper Well in Massacre Campaign to farm gear when you're making that transition. The gear in Nightmare Hardcore Glitter Helm is way better than the gear on Deeper Well Campaign Massacre. I mean, that's one thing that will always be the truth, is the data mined numbers, and the loot quality is higher. Man, I don't remember adding this song to the playlist either. This is the weirdest thing. I just copied my music playlist over to this Shadow server so I could play music while I'm streaming. I just did it this morning. And there's all these songs that I don't even recall ever being there. That's the weirdest shit. I have no clue. You can't see it. You have to launch it. Is that in the Steam launch commands? I'm not sure. Is Aiden... Are you still here, Aiden? If Aiden's still here, he knows the command to type in to go to DX12. By default, the game is not on DX12 though. You have to force it to DX12. I don't know. That may or may not adjust the issue. Just gotta wait. Which console are you playing on, Demon? You're on PlayStation, aren't you? Well, I mean, I think it'll be on PlayStation before it's on Switch. I mean, I've been saying this since the very beginning. I don't know how the heck they're going to get the game to run on the Switch. If you want to, Lucky, that's kind of one of those your decision type things. I mean, if I was brand new playing the game, knowing what I know, I would get the EV2 first. But on that same note, the EV2 is also my favorite character, so it's a win-win for me. But remember, it's a massive, massive grind. Dungeon Defenders 2 is a serious grind game. So with that in mind, get whoever's the most fun. You know, if you think one character looks more fun than another, then that's the character you should get. Because you're going to have a whole lot of hours into DD2 if you plan on pushing all the way through to the end game. I mean, you could spend 1,000 hours in DD2 just getting shards. And that's the first step, you know? These are the way auras were meant to be in Dungeon Defenders games, Demon. You played DD1, right? These auras, in my opinion, are way, way superior to DD2's auras. This is how auras are meant to be. It's supposed to be an aura. You know, DD2 auras are more like a little trap thing that you throw on the ground. You know? DD2's aura sucked. I mean, I use them all the time. I don't mean they suck as far as their effectiveness. I mean, if you were going to compare DD1 auras and DD2 auras, you're going to want DD1 auras, not DD2 auras, you know? They're just way better. I mean, they're effective. But if they had these auras, oh man, they'd be way better. I think the character models in DD2 look better. The game itself DDA looks way better. But as far as the character models and the animations for the characters, DD2 looks better in my opinion, yeah. Yeah, the ancient power, the amount of ancient power you can get is unlimited, but the amount of benefit you get from it is... After 70, you don't get anything but 5% gold and 5% XP for each reset. So if you do 100 resets, the last 30, you're not getting any more points to use. Well, I mean, you're getting the points, but there's nowhere to apply them. I debated on leaving mine at AP 69 just for the memes, but I'll end up keeping on going probably. Yeah, DDA's got the EV. Indeed. They call it something different in every game. Like in DD1, it's the EV, or the Series EV. In DD2, it's the Series EV2. In DDA, it's the Series EVA. But, I mean, it's the same character. Little different flavor to each one of them. But, same character for sure. Jesus, we're only on 16. This map takes forever. Well, those were just skins, though. They weren't the character itself. The 1.5 and the 1.75 and all that. You can't count the skins. No, the EVA doesn't have... It's the DD1 EV. Everything in the game is themed from DD1. So it's the DD1 EV. What's going on, Icos? How you doing? Well, see, I mean, that's the thing right now. Their Adventures of Jerry is I can't really move my right hand at all. I've actually got this... I've got a little half cast. And the half cast has got like a metal thing that comes out up where my thumb goes. I actually bent that metal thing inward a little bit so that my mouse would fit directly inside of my little cast. Well, no, lore-wise, it's a continuation from DD2. As far as the story goes. Kung Fu Monkey Man, what's up? I didn't realize. I didn't realize that you were a Adventuring Jerry. Yeah, I play other games all the time, Lucky. The thing on YouTube is, if it's not Dungeon Defenders or Tower Defense related, no one watches. If I was streaming another game right now that was not Tower Defense related, there'd be 5-10 people watching. So, gotta do what the people want, right? You can't get Kung Fu on YouTube? I bet you can now. Because they changed how it all works. That's not true. What's not true there, Darius? You just play my videos for my voice? Well, I don't know why. I just sound like just some grumpy old man. It's calming. You know, I've had people tell me that before, and I just don't see it. I mean, to me, I sound like just some standard dude with asthma. I've got asthma, so there's lots of gasping for air. What happened? Oh, I lost my interface. Okay, there we go. It's letting me G now. Oh, I 100% want to, and I've tried many, many times over the years, Lucky. It's not... Don't think for a second that I haven't tried to add more popular games to the channel. But what happens is, first off, no one watches the videos. And second off, I piss off all the Dungeon Defenders and Tower Defense fans that that's all they want to see. And then I end up losing instead of gaining. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I hear you. I'll be playing Cyberpunk next week. There's no doubt about it. But what happens is nobody watches the videos, and people get pissed off, and I end up losing my loyal fan base that have been here for years and years. So it's a very vicious cycle. That's why I tell every YouTuber that's trying to start a new channel up, do not, no matter what you do not just play one game. Get all kinds of content on your channel from the beginning, you know? Well, the thing with Among Us is it's ungodly dull if you don't have a group of 10. I don't have 10 people to play Among Us with, you know? And just joining random matches and playing it in text would be just absurdly dull. I mean, I wouldn't enjoy playing it. The whole thing with Among Us is it's fun to play with friends, you know? I actually have debated on starting a second channel, but it's one of those double-edged swords. I mean, it takes a lot of work to maintain daily content. I mean, I've probably had, I don't know, maybe 10 days in the last like 5 years that I have not had a daily upload. Well, then your channel goes to crap though the second those games die. Lucky is the thing. I mean, the best thing to do long term for somebody starting a YouTube channel now is to evolve. Play whatever you like to play, and when something new comes around, play that. Don't sit there and grind on the same old game, because eventually all games come to an end, right? People stop watching them. But it's hard to find a mixture of something you enjoy doing that's also something people want to see, you know? If you're doing it just to do it, that's going to show through. And I personally have kind of a rule where I just do not play games that I don't think are fun just because people will watch it, you know? I'm just not going to do it. So it's tough to find that balance. I mean, if you wanted to be a higher viewed streamer, you got to play PvP. That's what people watch. People watch PvP. People watch people that are good or people that suck but are funny that PvP. That's what the majority of people watching streams watch. So, I mean, if you like PvP, get good. I haven't talked to Omni in a while. He doesn't play. All he plays now is Minecraft, which is fine, but I don't like Minecraft unless it's modded. But I'm pretty sure the only thing he's playing now is Minecraft. I mean, I would be more than happy to do like a heavily modded Minecraft series, but that's not the route he's taken. Then, I mean, I just haven't seen him online very much at all, to be honest with you. He's got real life going, you know? I haven't played a game with him in years. Literally years. But, I mean, this channel will always all be about tower defense. So it's not always going to be Dungeon Defenders. It's going to be all kinds of, you know, it will be all kinds of games, but it will always be either tower defense or strategy related. It'll be a strategy gaming channel, but I did debate on starting a second channel. I do! Exclamation Steam in chat. Steam has had an issue with those lately, so you actually have to request an invite now. Potential 1.2 update next week, Citra. If not next week, the week after, probably. It'll be before Christmas, though, for sure. 1.2 is going to add a lot of grind time in, there's no doubt. Orcs Must Die is coming back. It's on Stadia right now. Orcs Must Die 3 is. It's going to be coming to Steam and consoles in 2021. That's a wonderful, wonderful game franchise. And, I mean, I'm not done with the Orcs Must Die 3 content on Stadia, to be honest with you. I still got to do their new DLC. But, absolutely love that people. And love that franchise. Oh, my Steam group has, like, I don't know how many people it has in it. It's like 2,000, I think. I've got a set group of people that I play different games with, but it's all one game. Like, I'm in a Diablo 3 clan that's super, super active every season when a new season hits. And then a couple of weeks into the new season, and they're just all offline and you won't see them. Stadia is Google's game streaming service. It's perfect for people, like if you've got a really good internet connection and a potato PC, Stadia is 100% perfect for you. So I mean, it fills the need for a lot of people. Because a lot of people do have a good internet connection and a potato PC, you know? But you're streaming the game. So if you don't have a quality connection, you're going to have massive latency and there's going to be issues. Well, I mean, Stadia you can put on any Google app. I mean, you can run it off a Chromecast on your TV. You can run it off of a Android tablet. And you can play games at PC quality. DDA is scheduled to be cross-save. They said that cross-platform is a goal, but won't be there for a while. It'll be far after launch that cross-play happens if it does. But cross-saves are a thing right from launch. So, like, launch day in 2021 here on the Xbox, I'm going to be on my Xbox on this account playing on my Xbox. You know? Just Google it. Google Stadia. You know, there's... Like I said, it's not right for everyone, but there are people that it's very right for. YouTube actually just did a thing with Stadia. If you had YouTube Premium, you got a free Google Chromecast and a free Stadia controller. Which I do it all through my PC personally. So like if I play a Stadia game, I'm playing it through my PC. But yeah, people that subscribe to that YouTube Premium service got basically set up for Stadia for free for their TV. Just pop the Chromecast into the side of your TV and go. The no downloads thing is nice. That aspect of it is good. Like if there's a big update for a game, you have no download. You fire up Stadia and go. You know, they update the game and do everything on their end. So you aren't actually installing anything on your computer. Stadia actually just runs through Google Chrome. So it's not even an app that you have, you know. If you're on a device that will run Chrome, then you're going to be able to use Stadia. Well, because for a PC gamer that does have a decent system, Stadia is not going to be as good. You know, so it's got that side of it too. That, you know, people aren't afraid to give harsh criticism. I mean, Stadia is not right for me, personally. But if I was on a potato PC with a really solid internet connection, Stadia would be right for me, you know? I would say check it out on like a tablet or whatever first. Put the Stadia app on your tablet and check it out there before you make any purchases. I mean, it's all about your connection. It's more about your connection than the device, you know? If you had a screaming internet connection, Stadia might be a good thing for you. Yep, there it is. Like I said, Lucky, Steam has an issue with Steam groups right now with bots coming in and spamming various things. So I've got it set as a private group right now. So you'll have to request access. And I go through it like once a day. Well, once every couple of days and go through and approve and all that crap. Just use a similar name on Steam, that way I know it's you and I'll approve it right away. Or let me know what your name is going to be. You know, send me a message or whatever. But yeah, they had back a few months ago, public Steam groups were getting joined by bots. And the bots were spamming links to various bad things. Various bad things. Well, I mean, you can set up an account for Steam just on a browser without downloading anything. Steam won't run on your PS4. They don't have a Steam app for it. Sony wants all that money themselves. They're not going to let you run another storefront on their equipment. Understandably, you know. Not really saying anything negative about Sony. Well, I mean, Steam is just an app. It's just an app that runs on your computer. You know? I'm assuming that's you that just joined my Discord server. But yeah, that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me if you're ever trying to get in contact with me is through Discord. God, I keep aiming and trying to shoot. There's no shooty going on. These maps take so dang long. No Mara, what's going on, man? How's things? Did you see that new, or what are you playing nowadays, Nomura? I'll be playing on the, I don't play very much on the PS4 right now, no. I'll be playing on the PS4 when DDA launches there. Every week, I'll have a PS4 stream. But I don't have, there's no games that interest me on the PS4 right at the moment, sadly. That I don't already have on PC anyway. But yeah, my poor PS4 gets neglected. It is the dust collector. Playing the new WoW expansion, that's fair. I know so many people playing that. I debated on it, but I refrained. WoW and I have a very addictive relationship. So I'm doing my best to avoid WoW these days. We have a very, very addictive relationship. It's my most played game now, ever. Out of all games, I played more WoW than literally any other game. It's a great game, but I just don't have enough good common sense to know when to put it down once I start. Then that Diablo 3 season started really close to the same time, and I absolutely adore Diablo. Pretty much every Diablo game I've absolutely adored. I actually debated on doing a little series on that Diablo 2 mod. There's a Diablo 2 mod that completely basically redid the entire game. But I didn't think there would be any interest from folks watching it. Rocket Arena? I've looked at Rocket Arena, but I've never played it. The games right now that I'm the most excited about is Creeper World 4 just launched yesterday. That game has been really, really fun. So I'll definitely play through that all the way. Cyberpunk, of course, launches, in 6 days. So I'm 100% going to play Cyberpunk, you know. It's not something that's going to fit on the channel very well, but I'm super, super excited to play it. Dungeon Defenders Awakened, of course. Crap, man, what's that turn-based gangster game? Dizzy sent it to me. I can't remember the name of the game now. There's a XCOM-like turn-based. That event is over, Luis. There's a video. Empire of Sin, that's the one. I'm going to play through that for sure. That game looks good. And that game's kind of easy on the hand right now. And since I got this injury, that's going to be a good one for me. This weekend is going to be double Defender medals, Lewis. But the 4 times gold and XP event is over. It ran last weekend. Or last week. And weekend. I've played the Wasteland games, yeah. I haven't played Wasteland 3. My buddy Joe has been playing that. It's a repetitive motion injury. Most people here know, some people don't. I was a card and dice dealer in a casino for a large chunk of my life. And my hands are basically destroyed from dealing thousands of blackjack cards a night. Alright, Ripper, take it easy. I would never rank that in any way. I don't think Citro. It's a tower defense game first. That ranking would be so opinion based and not really. It would be so based on people's opinion and playstyle choices. Like, I don't like melee characters. I don't play melee in games. Well, if you like melee characters, the Barb would be a no-brainer for you. But if you don't like melee characters, why would you play the Barb, you know? The Barb is all melee. So, I mean, that would just be... It would not be a list I would put together. Well, the Monk. The Monk is all you need throughout the entire length of the game, all the way up until you get to, you know, floor 950 plus. Then you're going to have to start doing some swapping and moving things around. But considering 99.999% of players will never see floor 950 plus, you know, you can get through the entire game with just a Monk. Or the entire game for you, you know. I mean, my Nuke Monk, when he's all decked, right now he's all in campaign gear because of AP resets, but when he's all decked, I can one-shot more than 2.1 billion. Well, that's the biggest number allowed in the game. You know? So there is no mob in the entire game with more health than that. So I can one-shot any monk in the game, or any mob in the game with that setup. But when you get to the higher floors, every mob has that much health, so, you know, that's where CC is more of a factor than anything else. And the Mystic rules the roost as far as CC goes. She the beast. Man, it's crazy how long these waves take to run. Core under attack. What? Oh, god dang it. We lose. Ah, boo. Well, we got the achievement for this map anyway. Nothing I can do. It's pure strat. Just gotta sit there and wait it out. DD2 builds in DDA. Not gonna make it. Needs wall. Heavy weapons fourth swing hits harder than a medium weapons third swing, etc. You can use a medium weapon, but it's not going to be as good as a heavy weapon. So, up to you. Some people like that faster attack pattern. And, you know, let's be honest, you don't need to hit a mob with 500 million health for 2 billion. So, I mean, you can use whatever hero you want to use, you know? Or you can use whatever weapon you want to use. But if you're infatuated with big numbers, then you're going to want a heavy. And I personally, I love seeing that big number, you know? I want to see a number that breaks the game. It's just, I love it. Alright, so we didn't get the check mark on that one, but we did get the tick for the achievement at least. Looks like I've already done Magus Quarters. Which one next, you think, y'all? Gonna have to start it from wave 1. And I don't care, I don't have to go in order. I can jump around. You can't guild mass destruction. Cool Sky. You can only get 2. Yeah, I'll take it. There, Dizzy. You want to start a map and we'll join you? I'll definitely take a wave 23 start. Kill, yes. Let's see if it'll let me join you. Not yet. We only got... Do we have 3? Yeah, we got 3 in our group, so we should be able to join you as a group. Oh, there it is. Join game. I was joining you now, Dizzy. I'll take it. I'll take it. I am not going to turn down a Wave 23 start on Alk Labs. That map takes forever to run. Makes lava mines look quick. I guess we'll put walls in this time, though, huh? Or more DSTs. One of the two. More DSTs would remedy the problem. Sweet. Man, my stomach is just growling. Wow. It must want me to eat. We'll go with an actual build this time. That way we don't have that Wave 20 fail. Just using my flimsy walls here. This is my buff beamer, not my waller. Ooh, gonna have to move those back, huh? Actually, we don't even need it. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Put a wall back here, I guess. A little baby. A baby. Oh, because flame auras are not in DDA. They weren't in DD2 originally. Originally in DD2, there was a defense called a Serenity Aura, and that's what the buff beam or the boost aura was back then. And the flame aura was the boost aura. And the Lightning Strike aura was the Lightning aura, and it was AoE. Crap, I got the wrong... I put a healing aura over here for some reason. Instead of a strength drain. I'm used to hitting the buttons with my mouse is the thing. Let's see, let's just throw some traps around here. We need something for the spiders, right? Oh, we can throw that there for spiders. How much? We still got 22 left. We got a lot of DU left. Trap there. Trap there. do all that. We got 9 left. What do we want to do at 9? Well, I mean, we can go with Inferno over here too, just to burn out these sides a little quicker. There we go. That should get us, right? Well, I appreciate the Wave 23 start there, Dizzy. That's awesome. Nah, that's because of the pet I was using, Citro. You remember the rock pet from DD1? That was, it gives you really high builder stats, but it reduces your run speed. This is my normal run speed without any buffs or debuffs. Right here. But the rock pet is the best in slot pet for builders, and it comes with a speed debuff, makes you run super slow. But yeah, this would be normal. It's one of those things. I mean, it's very, very irritating running around that slow, but on the same note, it's the best thing in the game for a builder. So do you want to have the best thing, or do you want to run around faster? So, I mean, like in a normal map, you can pop your boost, where like right now, since we're in pure strategy, we can't use abilities. But in a normal map, I would pop my Adrenaline Rush ability, that second ability there, and it gives you a speed boost. And then I could just run around and build the map. But since we're in pure strat, it won't let us use abilities. Maybe I should have put some DSTs in for the ogres, huh? I mean, we can always add it. Or just add one even. Anything will work. We got 8 DU spent on... Yeah, it's just taking forever to kill those guys. Theoden! Oh my god! It's Theoden! Making the jump over from the Xbox. Oh yeah, you need walls in DDA. DD2 trivializes all that stuff. Dizzy got the prom unlocked too, huh? Very nice. Alright, what do we want to do about the spooters? Let's do this. Let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. We'll move this back. So that it covers this area. And then... sorry, y'all. It's a little bit of a chore to navigate. Then we'll put a DST here. to help with the spiders. That leaves 1. So we can use that 1 on our reflect beam. Or to help with the ogres, pardon me. It'll still get hit a few times by spiders, but shouldn't be too bad. What's going on there, Tex? How you doing? Welcome. But that will just mow down the ogres when they come, even without a buff beam on it. Actually, the spiders are just getting insta-wrecked by that splody, huh? And we still got ogres on the side lanes here, but we can wait those guys out. We can wait out the side ogres, I guess. We could just get just 1 more DST. $7 mil, that's not too bad. How's the wall doing? Oh, the wall's barely getting touched. Like taking no damage. Just the waiting game. Can't stand on my DST. Boo. So many spiders, man. Crazy. Prom should go really pretty quick because we'll just straight spawn camp that one. What's going on there, Merlin? How you doing today? I do some late night streams my time, which would be early in the morning your time. But they're kind of dependent on the wife's work schedule. Right now, it's Sunday and Monday nights. Sunday and Monday nights, the wife is going in really late. She's been working, like 10 to 6, 8 to 4, stuff like that. So I've been doing late night streams on those nights. And then it will be it'll be early morning. But at least it won't be late at night, you know? Just kind of preparing for the next update, Merlin. DDA has a big update coming either next week or the week after. I was really hoping they were going to give us a date today, but they don't know the date, so I mean, it's fair. Champion score doesn't matter in any aspect of the game at all. Champion score is only used for unlocking trials, and it has no impact on anything else anywhere else in the game. So, I mean, a lot of people use it for EPing. You know, my EPing is bigger than your EPing, all that kind of stuff, but in reality, it's a number that should just be completely ignored once you get Chaos 7 unlocked. Now all the ogres are coming from the sides, right? Are we not getting any ogre up at the top lanes at all anymore? I mean, they're dying, but jeez. Yeah, depending on where you're at though, Citro, those streams have been like starting at like 6 or 7 in the morning Europe time and running until say like noon in Germany. You know, I don't know where what country you're from, but those are on Sunday, Monday nights. Well, Sunday, Monday night for me, which would be Monday, Tuesday morning for you. God, it's just amazing how the thumb, you know, my thumb is just so wrecked. It's starting to get sore right now, and I'm like literally not doing anything with it. 8 a.m. is way too damn early. I agree 100%. But I'm more of a night person, you know? Well, I mean, everybody's got their favorite. Calling one greater than the other is kind of a joke, but by all means, everyone's got their favorite Dungeon Defenders game, and they're all entitled to one. Oh, we're done already. Awesome. Host is selecting. Yeah, DDA is still being made. I mean, the base game isn't even here yet. The second 1.2 update that we get, I enjoy all 4 of the Dungeon Defenders games, so I don't really have a preference. I'm more than happy playing absolutely any of them. I mean, there's something better than the other. Well, I mean, if you don't like the game, then don't play the game. There's no shame in that. There's plenty of games out there I don't like that I don't play, you know? Alright, I think we'll just do the spawn camp. Assuming we got the DU for it anyway. We don't really even need the poison traps, do we? Because everything's just going to die. I'm not sure if we can get away with doing these entrances with no walls anymore either. Doing primes doesn't really require fine-tuned setups for mods. The game is a game of shards. Getting all the proper shards is step one. It's the most important thing in the game. Mods are a secondary, a later thing. I think... I mean, I kind of feel like I should throw a wall in just to be safe. But on the same note, I'm not thinking I'm going to need one on either of these two entrances. Oh, well, I mean, that's fair, you know? But, I mean, was your expectation realistic is the first thing you need to ask yourself. I mean, the game was originally intended to be launched on the Switch. You know, that right there should have brought all of your expectations down into reality zone. The Switch is like what? I mean, I got a Switch, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to playing it on the Switch. But the Switch is far from some powerhouse gaming device, you know? My only wish, well, I mean, I've been very vocal about the character models, and I'm not shy about saying it, you know? I think they could have done better with the character models, but my main wish is I just wish they had more new stuff. It's too much not new stuff, you know, too much regurgitated stuff from DD1 and DD2. So I just wish they had more new stuff, is my main complaint. Now let's see, do I go with wall? I want to get the DSTs in. Let's see, let's slap the DSTs in and then see what we got left. Crap, my sensitivity got cranked up on my mouse. This is going to be a chore placing these. Well, that'll give us 3 left, right? So we could go with one little makeshift wall over here, I guess. I don't know why they do the eye bleeding thing. They've done that in every Dungeon Defenders game so far. In DD2, if you turned post-processing off, it wasn't too terrible. But in same thing on DD1, you had to turn post-processing off and it wasn't too bad. But for some reason, they really, really want our eyeballs to bleed in Dungeon Defenders games. They like them bleeding eyeballs. I never played DD1 with post-processing turned on at all. It'll be on Xbox One early next year, Ghost King, and then it'll be on other platforms after that. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, y'all. I am far from saying DDA is a perfect game, because it's far from being a perfect game. So is DD1, so is DD2, so is DDE. They're all far from being perfect games. But DDA is a game that there is no doubt at all you can get 1,000+ hours of gameplay in it and really enjoy it the whole time. You know? Yeah, I mean, that's just a completely unreasonable statement at all, overall, right there. I mean, the maps in DDA versus DD1? Now, I'm not talking the character models. I'm talking the maps. But when you're talking about how a game looks, if you're limiting it to the character models, you're talking about a very, very small portion of the game. I mean, this game, I got the graphics all toned way, way down right now. But the game, outside of the character models, the game looks fantastic. It's just the character models. It puts a big ol' oof on the game, you know? But, you know, once again, we're all entitled to our opinions, so I got mine. I wouldn't expect anyone to not have theirs. But, you know, on that same note, I just really think you should base it off of the gameplay and not the looks. I mean, I got 1,000 hours into Terraria, I got 1,000 hours into Minecraft. None of those games look good by any means at all, you know? And getting 1,000 hours in a game is a pretty damn crazy good sign, really. Man, these guys are pushing out pretty good. Well, I don't have a gas trap there, but I didn't put a gas trap on purpose, because I want them to come out faster. They're all getting wrecked. They getting wrecked. The gameplay feels very similar to DD1. They need to add more special loot in my opinion. Give us more things to grind for. And I think that's in part what Rift Mode is about, you know? Rift Mode will have entirely different sets of gear to grind for. We'll want Rift sets. And we'll have to see exactly what all that entails. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind it'll be a big grind. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it shows up on stream. Is it showing up on stream? My Steam overlay, I just popped it up. I'm at 1,471 hours played right now. So, if you look through your library of games, how many games have you played 1,471 hours? So yeah, I mean, the gameplay is here. There's no doubt. I mean, there's things I'd like to see differently. But, I mean, as far as a base game here, it's got value to it. There's no doubt at all. It's well worth any dollar spent. Warframe's a great game. You know, really, in my opinion, any game that you can play and enjoy for more than 1,000 hours, I mean, that pretty much is going to qualify as a great game, right? I mean, I've got so many games that I think were great games that I didn't play anywhere near that. I mean, shit, I like the Borderlands franchise so much, I've got a Hyperion tattoo on my leg. Other than Borderlands 2, I haven't put 1,000 hours into any Borderlands game. I think Borderlands 2 I probably did. But Borderlands 1 I didn't. Borderlands 3 I didn't. But I still really enjoyed the games. I mean, Warframe is kind of the exception to the rule in almost all cases as far as a free-to-play game goes. There's just not a whole lot you can say negative about Warframe. It's just a really, really good game, you know? If you're wanting to play a shooter, and you're wanting that fast action and fast map clears, but on the same note, if you want a game that offers those long, grindy survival maps, 7,600 hours in Dota 2. Holy crap, dude. Wrecked plays a lot of Dota 2. He's probably got 7,000 hours or some ridiculous number. You guys remember Wrecked? He still pops in every now and then. He's been very, very busy with real life, though. I never got into any of those, the popular MOBAs, League of Legends or Dota 2. I don't know, I could just never really get into them. $9,200 hours in PoE. That's good stuff there, Slashed. I mean, you clearly got your money's worth, no matter how much you spent. You're glad you don't know your total hours in League of Legends? Well, I mean, 9,200 hours, that's a whole lot of hours in one game, you know? I've only got that in 2 games I've ever played. World of Warcraft and DD2. I could see getting that many hours in DDA, though, by the time it's all said and done. I mean, the base game isn't even fully arrived here yet, and I've got over 1,000 hours into it already. So, I mean, this will definitely be a game that I play many, many thousands of hours. WoW, PoE, and League of Legends. WoW is just... it's the epitome of the video game pipe. That's what WoW is. It's so damn addicting. It's hard to really get into WoW and not sink just a bazillion hours into it. It's my most played game. But yeah, I tried League of Legends, I tried Dota 2, and I just couldn't get into any of them. I don't know. I enjoyed Smite more than I enjoyed either of those two. And same, you know, that same MOBA concept, but I guess the third-person view I liked more, I guess. Come on, you big fat ogre, get wrecked. Thaden got his juicy fruit pack going. Very, very nice. $600 days on your rogue. Woof. My most was on a rogue as well. I had a high warlord mage though. That I put no shortage of hours in, that's for sure. Yeah, that's really, really old there, music. You haven't been able to do that for a year and a half at least. It's what you don't use that anymore. You have to look, if you go to my channel and scroll down, you'll see various playlists for Dungeon Defenders 2. All of those are current playlists. I mean, there hasn't been a change to the game in years, but the water, or the weapon man with water on it was... Oop, it's over, huh? We have hit the end. And I think, are we over the 2-hour mark? We are actually 15 minutes past the 2-hour mark, which YouTube processes VODs really, really slow that are past 2 hours. So I think I am going to call it a day here, but I will definitely be grinding out the rest of these pure strategy achievements over the next upcoming days. But that is going to get it for me for today, y'all. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. I do appreciate it a ton. Hopefully everyone has a absolutely wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.